Yeah, I just wanted to show y'all. I'm out here riding down this country road, and literally all you see is trees and grass and nothingness. Like, so that's kind of what it is. I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of B-roll so y'all can see this rural area, this good old country living where you don't have no internet. The cell phone get one bar down here. Like, I literally tried to download or post something on I literally tried to post something on Instagram, and it took like 30 minutes to upload. I was like, man, this internet is ridiculous. But if you have like Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, none of them get service. Only one carrier gets service down here, and I ain't gonna even talk about who it was. But yeah, so this is kind of where it is, where I went to go check out Pops at. The area is pretty much rural. It's like, I think it's like 5 houses in my neighborhood, in my Pops neighborhood. It's kind of interesting, but yeah, that's what it is. Just wanted to give y'all some B-roll as I ride through. All right, what's going on? I'm going to get my birthday present because I told my wife what I wanted, and of course she didn't remember and she wouldn't get it. So I'm in good old rural southern states where they love the Second Amendment here. Yeah, I see that. So let's go ahead and see what we can find in here. Something good. Yep. Yeah. What's going on, boss? All right. Yeah, I be forgetting where I'm at. South Cac. Down here, nobody mask up down here. I'm the only person got a mask. I just actually saw a brother with a mask on, and it reminded me, like, man, I'm bugging. Let me go ahead and get my... I'm bugging. Let me go ahead and get my MASK just in case. What's going on, y'all? This is Marcus, and just shooting this little video. This is definitely outside of the format, on some vlog side of the game, which I don't normally do. But hey, I just wanted to talk about why we, us, you, me, everybody, why we do all of this stuff related to the finances. I know maybe a month or two ago I told y'all I knew that my pops would need a heart surgery. Like 2 years ago, he had a heart attack, so I knew he would need a heart surgery. We just didn't know when it was getting scheduled. So the first part of that is interesting. Was he actually had a doctor? The doctor told him he needed a surgery. They would schedule it, and the doctor literally never called him. Like, this dude never called to schedule it. He called and was getting to run around. And so I told them, this goes with anything, but if you got a professional who's being unprofessional, don't trust that dude with anything. Like, that's having a doctor who is supposed to schedule your heart surgery and don't call you for like 4 weeks is like having an attorney when you're on trial for murder and they don't come to see you until 2 days before the trial. So he definitely got a new doctor. We went online and filed a grievance because that shit was just ridiculous. So we did do that. Also, I think the other thing, the other part of that is, when you have these type of emergencies, you don't know what expenses are going to come up. You don't know if, and we talked about it before on the channel, I didn't know if it was going to be something like, if we're going to have to provide him some type of care, if he was going to come up to stay with us. I already know he's a 72-year-old black man, so his last option is really coming to stay with us if he can help it. If he not completely helpless, I already know he not gonna want to come stay with me. I had to beg him, pretty much force him to come stay with me a few years ago when he actually had his heart attack. So yeah, but you never know what expenses could come up. Fortunately, we were able to have our finances squared away enough to, if we do have to provide care for him, we would have been able to handle that. So that was number one. I think the other thing is, the most important thing in this world, and it's not money and health. It's kind of health, but not really, is time. if we had enough time, we could do everything that we wanted to do or that our hearts desired. We want more time on this earth. We want more time with our family. Ultimately, the surgery went well. He ended up getting transferred to a new hospital. We got a new physician to do it. It was a little bit of a drive away, so we had to stay overnight, but got down here, got him to his appointment, and I could tell he was scared, but in true man fashion, men don't like to show other men they scared of, especially their kids. I don't know what it is, but parents always want to maintain that aura of being invulnerable or something. And I guess I get it. I kind of do the same thing with my children, but we drove down there. We got situated in the hotel. Next morning, took him to surgery. Everything went well. Sometimes after that heart surgery, they said that they like to keep folks a little while or overnight just to see how they're doing. But he was doing well. He was able to get out of there the same day. When I rolled around to pick him up, you go to a hospital, they have you in you have to leave a hospital if you have a procedure in a wheelchair. I don't care if it's something small, but they just want to limit their liability. So they roll you out that door in the wheelchairs. And when I pulled up and got out to go get him, that joker hopped up and darted across the street. And I was like, oh yeah, he fine. So literally the same day, he was fine. I laughed and I fussed him out, but literally on the way back, he was like, hey, can we pull over here so I can go get a cigar? I was like, dude, you just had heart surgery. You want a cigar? Like, nah, man, you get a cigar, but not on these next 2 days while I'm here. It was crazy. People are going to do what they're going to do, but everything went well. I stayed down for a while to help him out, but I already knew. I asked him if he was going to come back, if he wanted to come back with me as a matter of course, because, that's my father. I'm going to ask him, and I'm always offer that to him. But I already knew he was going to decline the offer once I saw how well he was moving and getting around. I mean, he had no visible side effects or recovery obstacles from the time before he went to surgery to immediately after. So once I realized that he was fine, I already knew. He was like, nah, man, I ain't going nowhere. But with that being said, I am going to try to come down and check him out a little bit more. Especially when you got parents and family who stay, 8, 9, 10 hours away, 2, 3, 4, multiple states away, it kind of get a little difficult. But then the other thing you gotta realize is, or I realized or thought about is, man, this guy's gonna do what he is gonna do. So let me just make down there. I can get down there and see him as much as possible. Even though I know he a tough bird, and historically, hey, that side of the family, they live well into the 105 to 109 age range. But I'm going to do my best to make sure I can get down here more often, at least once every other month. And it looked like it should be possible. Pre-pandemic, I worked all the time at the office. So I was in the office all the time, so it made things a little bit more difficult. It looks like I'll have essentially a 50% telework schedule. That schedule allowed me a little bit more flexibility to, get down. And, this country is hell down here. I'm talking like I'm still driving and haven't seen a store. I've seen a few houses every scatter, but you won't see a store. If you have a cell phone, you won't get a signal, unless you have an actual internet hookup. Essentially, staying down here, in my eyes, is like going back in a time machine. But it's cool. I mean, I don't like all the ruleness. I like that I could go outside and shoot the gun and all that type of stuff. The dog could rip and run, and you don't got to worry about fences and leashes. All that's cool, but the seclusion drives me crazy. The nearest store to civilization is literally no BS. It's 30 miles, maybe 25, 30 miles away, and that's just too far for me. Lord forbid you have to go to a hospital. If you got to go to a hospital, Jack, from where my father's house is, you in trouble. I was actually grateful a few years ago when he did have his heart attack, that he was out in the city because he was, trying to repair a vehicle or something like that. So he was at like a supply shop, when everything happened. But like, that little button that they give like to elderly people, like I fallen and I can't get up. I see why that thing made money. Like, when I was younger and I saw the commercial, I was like, why would somebody want that? But Al didn't know. It was apartment life and everybody, houses were connected. So in that instance, there's always somebody around, somebody knocking on your door, somebody probably coming to look for you. But when you think about those more rural people who are in rural areas and may not have a lot of family around to check on them literally every day or can only call them, hey, whoever thought of that was a genius. Yeah. But that's it. It was a pleasant ride down. I'm headed back now on the way back to the crib. I'll probably throw this online and drop this video. I'll talk with y'all soon. I can't wait to get back to where I actually got a signal.